Well, it's that time of year. As many of you guys already know, the fall, the autumn time, whatever you want to call it, is my personal favorite season of the year. I love these cozier scents. They're warmer, maybe sweeter, richer, deeper, darker, and even spicier. And that is what today's video is all about. We're talking about spicy fragrances. There's many ways that spice can be achieved. We'll kind of talk about them along the way because all 8 of these fragrances deal with spice in slightly different ways, but all of them could have you smelling very attractive, very appealing, very approachable this fall season. And the cool thing is that all these fragrances can be found in one place, and that is Max Aroma. We talk about Max Aroma every month, which is nothing new. We've been doing this for a couple years now. As you probably already know, they are one of the top locations online where you can find designer, niche, and everything in between in terms of fragrances that you might be looking to buy. What I do love is that they have great ways to sample fragrances with their little faux leather decants, so you don't have to commit to a full bottle right away. You can find what you love and then scale up if it makes sense. So we're gonna have some old favorites, we're gonna have some newer-ish favorites, and a little bit in between. So let's dive right into it. I gotta be honest with you guys, this first fragrance here, my relationship to this fragrance, when the fall time kicks in, when those chillier temperatures start to creep in, I feel it on my skin. I can smell the leaves in my nostrils, and I feel like a girl who immediately starts to put on that oversized scarf and those Ugg boots and grabs a pumpkin spice latte and curls up on the couch, or is out to brunch with her girlfriends. That's the vibes I get with this, when I just can't keep myself away from it when fall time hits. This is called Labyrinth of Spices. It's from Alghabra. I've talked about it a lot over the years. I haven't talked about it in several months because I haven't been touching it in several months, but now it's time. And this is a blend of most spices you would ever want in a fragrance. There's cardamom, there's lots of cloves, there's cinnamon, maybe some nutmeg, all kinds of spiciness going on in here, both warming and cooling. It has a touch of juicy pineapple at first spray, some beautiful warm and smooth ambery qualities in the base, and a good bit of tobacco in there to add some texture and some depth. It is a stunning scent profile that is perfect for the fall time. It works day or night. I think you could wear this to work if you want to have a more professional vibe. You could also wear it at night if you want to have a more seductive vibe, but honestly I would dress it up a little bit. It just suits that type of vibe. Anyway, that's from Alghabra. That is Labyrinth of Spices. Let me know if you enjoy it, and if you haven't tried it, check it out at Max Aroma. It's going to be the first link below the like button. Up next, we have a classic from 2001. I don't believe I've featured this fragrance on my channel before. It's a lovely scent from the house of Clive Christian. It is absolutely timeless, and it has inspired a few other fragrances that have come since. This is called X. This is the masculine version, my tiny little 10 milliliter bottle, which is not cheap, but totally worth the price of admission if you're asking me. Beautiful, warm, spicy fragrance. It's just a big amalgamation. I don't get a bunch of top, middle, and base with this fragrance. It's all together. It doesn't change a lot. I do get this warm, resinous, spicy quality, slightly sweet, but not anywhere near gourmand or vanilla or tonka bean or anything like that. Just this natural balsamic sweetness, maybe a little bit damp, but also dry and woody. It just smells masculine. It smells sophisticated. Fragrances that smell like this to me are from Raja Parfum, Reckless, which I love, as well as from Vertus, which we'll see Vertus later, Monarch, which is also a wonderful scent that also smells like Clive Christian X. If you're looking for a timelessly masculine and elegant scent profile that works beautifully for a more sophisticated occasion throughout the fall, you have to check out Clive Christian X. Let me know if you enjoy this one. And as promised, this is from Vertus, the only one I have from the house. Definitely the most hyped from the house, but it is really good if you like warm, spicy, smoky vanilla. This is called Vanilla Oud, another one I've talked about more than a few times, and I get this burning vanilla. It's almost like charred in a way, a little bit smoky, but in this very mysterious way that just adds some substance to the scent. It is a warm, ambery, creamy, smooth vanilla that does smell very natural to my nose. It does have a pop of maybe some rhubarb or some apple or something. When you first spray it on, it is kind of fruity and almost bright and punchy. I think some people don't really like that opening. I happen to like it, so be warned if you get a sample of this and you put it on your hand or put it on a blotter. Be careful when you spray it up close in those first 10 minutes or so. It might punch you. And it does have a good little bit of saffron in here. The saffron is what adds the spicy quality to this smoky, warm vanilla that is beautiful, great for the evening time during the autumn. That is Vanilla Oud from Vertus. Now, spicy doesn't only have to be warm and ambery and vanillic and sweet. It can also be a little bit more uplifting and aromatic and maybe even herbal, but still with some oomph to it, so it still works beautifully for the fall time. And this fragrance here is an example of that from the house of Thameen, London. They call this Bohemian Infusion. To me, this has this air of classic masculine perfumery. There's something that is reminiscent of a fougere to me, almost barbershop leaning, but not quite there. It is something different. I do get this herbal fruitiness. I don't know exactly where that's coming from. I know there's grapefruit in here, but I do get a sweet, almost mouth-watering fruitiness that kind of rides through the top layer of this scent. But overall, it is pretty spicy. It's woody, very herbal, but not too green. There's just this slight bitter quality in there. And in the air, it just has this almost muskiness that wraps it up and it just kind of captivates you. It smells like elegance. It smells like class. It smells beautiful for the daytime. A little bit more upscale for sure. Really, really well done. Perfect for fall. Honestly, any time of the year, but it's one of those great early fall or daytime fall scents. Let me know if you enjoy this one. Bohemian Infusion. This next one is very spicy, very cozy. Might even be a little bit stuffy if you smell it up close, so be warned, but I think it's wonderful. This is from Xerjoff. They call it Ivory root, and this is another just blend of spices. That's primarily what you get here. It is kind of clove-like, maybe a little bit of cinnamon. It is spicy, dry, warm, a little bit sweet. It's a relatively simple scent profile, but the quality here is very good. It smells like warm, classy, dry spices, little tiny bit of sweetness in there, but again, nothing too gourmand leaning at all. Sample this one first. It is a little bit particular, so you want to make sure you love it. Once again, you can most likely do so at Max Aroma if they sell the travel decants for this one. But let me know if you've checked it out already. That's Ivory root from Xerjoff. A beautiful, spicy, warm fragrance from the house of Precious Liquid. They call this one Tobacco Royal. This is definitely based on tobacco, but it's blended with this beautiful, juicy fruit. I think it's apricot. It almost makes it feel honeyed, sticky and warm, but there are some spices in here that kind of kick up as it dries down on the skin. It makes it a little bit prickly in a way, a little bit more textural, beautifully layered. It just has a wonderful profile overall that smells a little bit different. It doesn't remind me exactly of anything else out there as far as a sweeter tobacco fragrance goes. It smells very authentic. Let me know if you've tried this one. That is Tobacco Royal from Precious Liquid. We're gonna end this video with a couple of old favorites. This is the oldest favorite in the video for sure. I've loved this fragrance for many years now. It's been a favorite of the channel, and I know a lot of you guys enjoy it as well. From the house of Guerlain, this is L'Homme Intense. As I always say, it's gonna look different than this. It comes in a different bottle that looks like this. The name has changed. On this bottle, you're gonna see L'Intense. They just call it Intense now, which I think is better. But nonetheless, as far as I understand, same great scent. Nothing's changed in that regard. This is based around chili pepper, smoke. It's warm and spicy, smoky and sweet. Has that signature almond in there, that bitter almond, making it kind of creamy, maybe tonka bean, giving it that sweetness. It definitely smells reminiscent to the DNA, to the original L'Homme Ideal, but just has more substance to it, has more depth. Is my favorite one thus far in the collection. And I really think it's that smoky spice that adds this air of intrigue when it's in the air, especially at night with a breeze. There's something about it in the air that just captures the attention. I love this stuff. Let me know if you love it too, or even if you just like it. That is L'Homme Ideal Intense. Final fragrance is a heavy hitter for me. I absolutely love this fragrance. I get a lot of wear out of it. It is one of my go-tos when I want to feel attractive. This is from the House of Mind Games. They call it Gambit. First thing I'll say about it is that it's expensive. So I do not advise you to blind buy a full bottle of this because you might not love it. And if you don't love it, honestly, it's not worth the money if you're asking me. This is somewhat reminiscent to a blue smelling scent profile. Believe it or not, it is a little bit reminiscent to something like Dior Sauvage Elixir, which is maybe the least blue smelling of the collection, but it is leaning in that way, almost towards the mainstream clean shower gel fresh profile, but really diverts itself right away, and it smells way more substantial than that typical profile. Uses patchouli. I do get fresh spices and warm spices. It's dry and woody, and I believe it's cloves that really dominate the spicy quality of this scent. That might not be for everyone. I think it gives it a gentlemanly quality. It gives it this kind of grown-up quality while still having this seductive edge that smells really attractive to most people in the air. I don't know what it is, but this stuff just works for me. I love the way it makes me feel when I wear it. That's what matters the most to me. How I feel, how it elevates my mood, my confidence, which affects how I treat people. And if they happen to like my scent, they'll tell me. And they have told me several times in the past. I've gotten lots of questions and compliments on this one, and I love it regardless of that stuff. I've loved it before I ever got my first compliment. But I want to know what you think of Gambit if you've tried it. This is still my favorite from the house thus far. It may not be your favorite, so proceed with caution, but let me know if you dig it, if you've tried it, and if you haven't, links down below. All right, that's a handful of spicy fragrances you can check out this fall if you haven't already. If you have checked them out already, let us know what you think down in the comments. Let's talk about it. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.